Good afternoon. Sorry, good evening. I'm an old-time bohemian, and uh, well, you don't know me. I, I don't know why. They know at the gate who I am, so it's okay. I'm here to tell you about an old-time bohemian and some of the unusual things that happened back in the 30s and 20s. This one is a 1928. It happened. Well, and around then, the guy was named Tommy. And Tommy had a one-man camp up at the top of Kitchen Hill there, probably in the Grove, don't know for sure. He had a little bar. It was just a one-man bar, and he always had a drink. Nobody ever saw him put ice in it or water or booze or anything, but he always had a drink. And he always seemed to have the effects of it. But the point of this story is that Tommy was a falconer. If you know what that is, it's 4,000 years old, and it's the art or the sport that's debated of falconry, which has to do with falcons. It's a bird. They can be as big as 8 feet across. And Tommy had one of these up in his camp up there. And what the falconry, this is before they had the bow and arrow, and before they had guns to chase the little animals. They used a bird, a falcon, and they went after him. You have a little hood on there, and you take the hood off, and the eyes, and he'd go out and get whatever was out there, which unfortunately included the Grove Committee, because they came up once only. And the guy who came up, well, he went back and he said, I wanted to be in the cremation or participate somehow, but he didn't want to be on the Grove Committee. And they didn't understand it, didn't know what he was talking about. But later he said, well, look out up there. And anyway, that the Tommy and his falcon, and he had these straps, leather straps that went on his wrist there. And he'd take the little hood up, and off it'd go. And he'd pick up rabbits and drunks, really drunks, and a few of those. And this was in 1928, so it's not very well recorded, if it's recorded at all. And what happened was the Grove Committee couldn't stop it because they didn't know what sex this thing was, and they didn't know what the thing was, It was up there in the Kitchen Hill, and raised hell when the Grove Committee went up there, so they stopped going. And about 1932, Tommy disappeared. And the Grove Committee went around, what they always do, make sure that nobody's getting by without paying, staying in the Grove for free. Can't have that. And so they checked, and all they saw of Tommy was feathers and a little golf ball shaped head, a little thing that was his hood, or the hood of the falcon, and that was all. And nobody knew what happened to him. And that's one of Bohemia's mysteries, and it'll always be there, I guess. I guess you could call this a fireside talk, but I didn't intend it that way. It's getting a little warm in here, so I'll stop right now, and I'm glad. Thanks for listening. Anyway, now you understand about Tommy and falconry. 4,000 years old, Yeah.